Quarterbacks aren't always the most athletically gifted in the NFL. They thrive more on their awareness, strength, passing accuracy, and vision. So when a football player has the qualities of a quarterback and the athleticism of a wide receiver, not everyone's sure what position he should play. And that was exactly what happened to Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. The 2016 Heisman Trophy winner started out as a quarterback, but as he got closer to the NFL, lots of enthusiasts felt he was better off playing wide receiver. Well, he decided to go on in the path he felt was best for him, and today, he's considered the greatest dual-threat quarterback in NFL history. This is the truth about Lamar Jackson. Born January 7, 1997, to Lamar Jackson Sr. and Felicia Jones, Jackson had to deal with the death of two loved ones on the same day. His father died from a heart attack the same day his grandmother passed away. He was 8 years old at the time. Although he was still very young at that age, he could already throw a football 20 yards. Of course, this might not seem like a lot when compared to what he can do now. However, when compared to the throwing ability of the average 8-year-old, it was huge and a sign he could end up being a great quarterback. In addition to his throwing ability, as a kid, Jackson didn't just play as a quarterback. He was his team's kicker and safety. Jackson won the South Florida FYFL Super Bowl at age 11, and as a starting quarterback too. Nonetheless, he didn't exactly start playing football in high school as quickly as he would have wanted. It wasn't until his junior year at Boynton Beach High School that he finally joined the team. Although the reason for this isn't public knowledge, he transferred to the school after spending 2 years at Santa Luce's, and in those years, he had to focus on his academics. Although Jackson attended Boynton High School for just 2 years, his ability to run and throw the ball made him stand out. In 2 years, he threw for 2,263 yards and 31 touchdowns. At safety, he recorded 9 interceptions. That's not all. He also ran for 1,624 yards and 22 touchdowns. After high school, Jackson got offers from a laundry list of schools. However, he only visited Nebraska, Mississippi State, Florida, and Louisville, ultimately pledging his future to the University of Louisville. Although at one point he seemed to be leaning towards Florida, he felt the Cardinals were the right option because head coach Bobby Petrino promised his mother he would play quarterback. Jackson's freshman year at Louisville saw him have 8 starts out of 12 games. That season, he ran for 960 yards and 11 touchdowns. Additionally, he completed 135 of 247 passes for 1,840 yards, finishing the season as the MVP of the Music City Bowl. Jackson's freshman year was great, but his sophomore season was even better. He started out by setting a university record of 8 touchdowns in one game. Interestingly, all these touchdowns were in the first half. That season, he was named the Player of the Year and was awarded the Walter Camp Award. Additionally, as the best overall player in college football, he won the Maxwell Award. That same year, Jackson won the Heisman Trophy after beating fellow finalists Deshaun Watson, Dede Brooke, Baker Mayfield, and Jabril Peppers. As beautiful as winning this award was, even more beautiful was the fact that he set a couple records in the process. At 19 years and 337 days old, he became the youngest recipient of the Heisman Trophy. Furthermore, he became the first winner of this award in the history of the University of Louisville. By his 3rd season in college, Jackson had a huge fan base, and his fans, as well as the media, were looking forward to his performances. His junior year didn't see him win as many awards as he did in his sophomore year. Nonetheless, he had a great season. In 13 games, he finished with 3,660 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, with just 10 interceptions. He also recorded 232 carries for 1,601 rushing yards and 18 touchdowns. While in college, Jackson actually had a great time playing quarterback, but as soon as he announced his decision to enter the 2018 NFL Draft, there were suggestions he would do better as a wide receiver. Although he never played the wide receiver position in high school or college, a number of draft pundits felt his athleticism could come in handy in this area. He probably had some valid points, but Jackson already had his mind made up. As a matter of fact, to prove how interested he was in playing quarterback, he avoided drills like the 40-yard dash, which would showcase his speed and athleticism, further pushing the narrative that he should play wide receiver at the next level. The 2018 NFL Draft saw Jackson selected by the Baltimore Ravens as the 5th quarterback and 32nd overall pick in the first round. Shortly after his selection, he signed his rookie contract, which was estimated to be worth $9.47 million. Jackson had to wait till the second half of his rookie season to taste action. In his debut game, he replaced injured quarterback Joe Flacco and recorded 39 rushing yards and 24 passing yards. He had to wait until a 24-23 Week 7 loss to the New Orleans Saints to score his first touchdown. 4 weeks after his first touchdown, he made his first start in the NFL. Flacco was unable to play in a Week 12 24-22 win over the Cincinnati Bengals after injuring his hip. In Flacco's absence, Jackson was able to complete 13 out of 19 passes. Also, this game saw him set a franchise record for the most rushing yards by a quarterback in a game after he rushed for 117 yards. At the end of his rookie season, Jackson led the quarterbacks in the league with 695 rushing yards. This is regardless of the fact that he had to wait a while to see any action. Jackson had a great regular season, but he was really just getting started with the records. In a wild card game against the Los Angeles Chargers, he set a record as the youngest quarterback to start an NFL playoff game. This was exactly a day before his 22nd birthday. At the end of the 2018 NFL season, it was obvious that Jackson had a decent season. However, he could have done a lot better. So, to ensure that he brought more to the team, the Ravens coaching staff felt it was necessary to design a new offensive strategy that would work well with his skills, and they did just that, abandoning the strategy designed for Flacco in the process. The Ravens' decision to build the team around Jackson seemed like a smart move early in his sophomore season. In the first week of the season, he led the Ravens to a 59-10 win over the Miami Dolphins. Jackson's performance in this game earned him the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. At the end of the 2019 season, Jackson was unanimously voted the MVP. This made him the second player to be voted unanimously after quarterback Tom Brady. That's not all, he became the second youngest player to win the award. In a Week 1 38-6 win over the Cleveland Browns in the 2020 NFL season, Jackson was named the AFC Offensive Player of the Week after completing 20 of 25 passes for 275 yards. Unfortunately, he couldn't replicate this performance 2 weeks later after he threw for 97 yards, which was a career low. His failure to show up for his team led to a 34-20 loss. Well, his performance woes were very short-lived, because in the next game, he led the Ravens to a 31-17 win over the Washington Commanders. In this game, he hit 2,000 yards rushing and 5,000 yards passing. Of course, hitting these numbers was impressive, but even more interesting was the fact that he was the fastest player in NFL history to achieve this. Jackson wasn't done with the records. His next big record was in the 2021 season. In a Week 6 game against the Los Angeles Chargers, he hit a milestone of 35 victories. With this, he set a record for the most wins by a starting quarterback under the age of 25. Unfortunately, his season came to an end in Week 14 after he suffered an injury in a 24-22 loss to the Cleveland Browns. In the 2023 NFL season, Jackson renewed his contract for 5 years. That same year, he won his second MVP, making him the second youngest player to win multiple MVPs. Jackson has been in the NFL for 8 seasons and is a major force. He went from analysts and pundits believing he wouldn't be good at quarterback on the highest level to becoming arguably the greatest dual-threat quarterback of all time. Lamar Jackson has all of the individual accolades you could ask for, but the one thing he's still searching for is that Super Bowl ring to cement his legacy and change the conversation around us being in the Mahomes era. Hopefully, he gets a few before he retires. If you had a blast watching this, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest crazy content. Drop a comment below and let us know which moment blew your mind the most. Catch you on the next one.